Ha?
Nakita na kami.
Ha?
Well, at this time, Mario Barrios is going to fight Manny Pacquiao in July.
46, most boxers have hung up their gloves and settled into retirement, some even behind a microphone as commentators. But Manny Pacquiao isn't most boxers. The legendary 8-division world champion is making a bold return to the ring, taking on rising welterweight contender Mario Barrios in a high-stakes matchup. Inside his intense training camp, Pacquiao is showing the world he still has it, speed, focus, and that fighting heart that made him a global icon. This isn't just about one more fight. For Pacquiao, it's about legacy, redemption, and proving that true greatness doesn't have an age limit.
I said I did it, my nigga, now watch me do it all year. Yeah, that nigga, they fear. This music goes to the world. Still it shows, fuck the hoes, me looking at niggas dying of surprise, throw that cushion in the air.
Eddie Hearn says that even at his age, Manny Pacquiao still has what it takes to beat most welterweights outside the top 15 or 20. While he admits Pacquiao isn't the same fighter he once was, mainly because of age and time away from the ring, Hearn points out that Manny's experience and sharp boxing mind still make him a serious threat. From a business perspective, Hearn believes a Pacquiao comeback makes sense, especially against opponents like Mario Barrios. Barrios is a strong fighter, but he's not in the same league as top names like Terence Crawford or Jaron "Boots" Ennis. Still, Hearn adds a word of caution. Being out of the ring for so long could affect Pacquiao's performance. A return is possible, he says, but it needs to be handled with care.
147, kind of a weird spot right now. We're looking at Manny Pacquiao potentially facing Mario Barrios. What do you think of that fight?
Yeah, I think that, it's a very contentious subject. Like, people moaning about Manny Pacquiao. I think Manny Pacquiao is still good enough to beat most fighters in the top 20 at 147 pounds. He's clearly not the fighter that he once was. You're not going to be at that age. My problem is that he's been inactive for quite a long time. Like we were talking about fighting him with Conor Benn maybe 6 months ago or a year. And every month or 3 months or 6 months that passes, you do become a lot older. So, I guess there's two questions. One is, should he be fighting again? And at the end of the day, if he's good enough to beat everybody outside of the top 20 in the world, then why not? But should he be fighting for the world title? I guess that's another question. In the commercial world of boxing, the answer is yeah, probably. In the ratings world and activity world, the answer is probably not.
Do you think it's strange that he's coming off the couch and getting a title fight like that?
I think when you've achieved what he's achieved, you've always got the right to do things a little bit differently to others. And with all due respect, Barrios is not Boots and Barrios is not Crawford, and that's why, we pushed the Conor Benn fight. Conor Benn, like, his best win is against Algieri or Van Heerden. So actually Pacquiao is a step up, and people were still complaining at me for mentioning that fight, like Conor Benn is Boots, but he still hasn't had those wins yet.
Manny Pacquiao's last professional fight was in August 2021, where he lost by unanimous decision to Denis Ugas. Since then, he's stayed out of the ring. Promoter Eddie Hearn has pointed out that long breaks can hurt a fighter, especially one getting older. At 46, Pacquiao's passion to fight again is admirable, but boxing at the top level takes a serious physical toll. Getting back into top shape and going up against younger, active fighters won't be easy. Still, Pacquiao's deep experience and sharp instincts make him a real threat in the welterweight division. His scheduled comeback fight in July 2025 against Mario Barrios for the WBC welterweight title shows he's still aiming for greatness. But there's no guarantee how it will go. Professional boxing is tough, and age doesn't make it any easier to. Back in September 2021, Pacquiao announced his retirement to focus on politics, even running for president of the Philippines in the 2022 elections. Now, nearly 4 years later, he's back, and ready to fight. Once after his unanimous decision loss to Denis Ugas, Manny Pacquiao admitted that boxing was taking a toll on his body. He mentioned leg cramps during the fight as a clear sign that his body was no longer keeping up the way it used to. While his love for the sport remained strong, he knew it was time to focus on his health and growing political responsibilities. When he announced his retirement, Pacquiao spoke with deep gratitude. He thanked boxing for changing his life, lifting him out of poverty and giving him the chance to inspire millions. It is difficult for me to accept that my time as a boxer is over. Today I am announcing my retirement, he said. That announcement in 2021 brought a close to an extraordinary 26-year career. Pacquiao left the ring as the only fighter in history to win world titles in 8